going on, Jerome's? It's a beautiful Friday. The sun is shining, birds are chirping and stuff, and it's time for the daily Vikings news dump. Now, this is out a little bit later than usual, but also you can hear it in the vocals that Daddy's a little bit under the weather, and I swear to everything that's holy, kids are literally just like a petri dish. They get everything, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Anyways, so the Thursday Night Football is actually good again. Second week in a row, the Raiders, coming off their zero goose egg D'Angelo Russell performance against Brian Flores and the Vikings defense. They put up 63 against the Chargers, including 2 defensive scores, and I was just rooting so hard for 70, man. I just wanted to see another 70 burger, like the Dolphins put up on stupid Sean Payton earlier in the season, but the Raiders couldn't get it done, and the Chargers are ass. Thank you. Brandon Staley deserves to be fired, and Brandon Staley seems like a competent defensive coordinator during his time with the Rams. I think that it's possible that if Flores does get a head coaching job, that Staley could be a replacement for Flores here, given O'Connell and Staley's relationship back with the Rams. But I don't. Everyone complains about, Justin Herbert's a 500 quarterback and he's losing all these one-score games. Apparently, Justin Herbert's the reason why you're in one-score games as opposed to just getting your ass blown out. It's rough, man. But also, there's so many jokes. There's so many jokes, but the best one was from Victor the Viking, the mascot for the Vikes. NFL put out a tweet, final Raiders drop a 60 burger. Victor, great, they can add that burger to the donut they scored against us last week. Woo, woo. That's right. It's only 4 days ago. It's crazy. But also, have you ever had a burger on a donut? I'm trying to think if I did, because it's something that a lot of people would be put off by, but the savory and the sweet always works. Always works, man. Something that always works is AI. So I feel like AI is getting out of control, man. I feel like we're getting to the point where it's really hard to distinguish actual photos, from artificially intelligence generated. But it's always something weird. Like you'll see, I don't know, like you'll see a picture of someone that like a celebrity doing something that would surprise you, but then they're missing a finger where they usually are not missing a finger. That's how you could tell. But our guy Vikes Insiders did up Nick Mullens hoisting that Jerome Barty one time. Now, there's a couple things going on. Number one, Mullens looks a little bit slightly more ripped. So maybe he's been in the gym. Also, maybe he's been tanning a little bit. I don't know. Also, He's got the Tom Brady. He's got the Tom Brady motif going on. He's got the glove. He's got the play collar. He's got the left arm sleeve. Also, Super Bowls in Vegas this year really looks like the Superdome. Either way, I'm. It's all good in the hood. I'm on board with Mullens hoisting that Jerome Barty one time. Someone who's hoisting a lot of things, but not passes downfield. So. Jumping Jake Browning is like, oh, look at Jake Browning go. Oh, the Jaguars game. Oh, this game. All right, so Jake Browning, 79.3% highest completion percentage in first 3 starts since 1950, minimum 80 passing attempts, and people are giving Browning all these plaudits, which is great, but also, if you actually watch the games, whether it's the Colts or the Jaguars game, that a lot of these are just at the line of scrimmage within 5 yards, just a little bit dink and dunk. And, yeah, I mean, the West Coast offense is based off of a weak-armed quarterback. I mean, Virgil Carter back in the day with Bill Walsh and company, which, again, it shouldn't be the West Coast offense. It should be the Ohio River Valley offense. But, again, argument for another day. But that's why we're saying, hey, with Browning, you got to sit in those in those hook zones. You got to sit in the flats, and I think that Flores, I mean, it's going to be pretty obvious, and that they're going to try and make him throw deep. Which, pick your poison. With Higgins, with Jamar Chase, the corners are going to have to play a big time game. But let's make that stock price go down. 79.3%. How about 50-50 or less? Speaking of the Bengals, so. I love stories like this, man. All right, so this is from ML Football. Awesome. Florence Flo Hackman is a Bengals super fan and is turning 105 years old and celebrating during Saturday's game with Fireball, whiskey, and football. Her three favorite things will be at the party: whiskey, firefighters, and the Bengals. God bless Flo. Flo is awesome. And you always hear, like, was not octogenarian, like decagenarians, people over 100. So in these small towns or even like small countries, you'll see 110-year-old people, 105-year-old people, and they're always like, the reporters are always like, "Oh, what's your secret?" And then it's literally like Paul Ball and Oscar Mayer baloney. That's what it is, man. And also like a nip of brandy every single day. Brandy, you're a fine girl. I love Florence. It's really unfortunate that her birthday party is going to be ruined because the Vikings are going to go in and beat the piss out of the Bengals. It's going to be fantastic. And, I mean, it's going to be so bad that if there was alternate programming, like if there's more games on and there wasn't just a standalone game on Saturday, that they would switch the coverage, which is always so embarrassing. Again, Flo, you're awesome, but your team is going to get the business on Saturday. Also, doing some business is Ivan Pace Jr., quickly becoming not only one of the best rookie linebackers in his class. Hey, Jack Campbell, what up? But just one of the best off-ball linebackers in the league. And the pride of Cincinnati is having a bit of a homecoming game this week. And Darren Doogie-Wolfson loved the storyline of Saturday's homecoming for rookie linebacker Ivan Pace Jr. for being on his birthday. It says birthday, too. That's great. How old is he? 105? Fireball whiskey. He'll have 40 to 50 family and friends in attendance. I caught up with him in the Vikings locker room today. So Pace, it's awesome. So Pace Jr., he grew up in Cincinnati, went to high school in Cincy, initially played at Miami, Ohio, which is in Oxford, which I found out is basically a suburb of Cincinnati. Of course, had his senior season with the Bearcats. Unanimous All-American, 9.5 sacks, nose for the football. Absolutely loved and adored him. But he went undrafted because the league is a bunch of snobs. Not checking the boxes, but a dynamic playmaker and a guy who's really thrived in Flores' scheme, and he's going to be so fired up. He's coming off his NFC Defensive Player of the Week performance against the Raiders, and now he's back home in front of friends and family in his home freaking town. Let's go, man. Speaking of let's go, so Kurt Warner came to the defense of Josh Dobbs, basically saying that it was more on the scheme, more on Kevin O'Connell, more on the receivers. But Kyle Sluter, our guy, the Dutch pronunciation, doubled down on this. I'll say, here's what he said, quote, "I'll say this, after watching the tape, I 75% agree with this, agree with Kurt Warner. Did Dobbs play great? No. He missed a few throws, but not as many as you'd think. He put the ball in harm's way a couple times, but there was a lot of big drops. I will say that there was a piss-poor effort offensively all the way around. Receivers were the most disappointing position group, in my opinion, by far. Lazy route running, minimal effort, bad spacing, drop balls. Hard to play quarterback with those issues. Not a lot of creativity in the playbook right now either. Neither quarterback played awesome by any means. But the benching felt a little unwarranted given the situation in Minnesota." I mean, neither quarterback played awesome. I felt like Mullens did okay. But I love the open and honest discourse, and I love that people are free to disagree, especially guys that played in the league. And what's great, too, is that Sluter, I love that he is completely blunt and honest in his assessment of things, and I think that he is going to be a rising star. Like, was it JT O'Sullivan and like Kurt Benkert are the really good former backup quarterback film guru guys now. I think Sluter's going to do good. Go check out his stuff on YouTube, give him a subscribe, and go from there. Also, speaking of quarterbacks, I love the Tommy DeVito story. It's fantastic, man. And we suggested NFL winter meetings were going on last week, but the NFL needs to adopt the Tommy DeVito rule, where every team's QB3 needs to be a local kid the fan base loves. So if the season is going to poop, the team can start and good vibes and stay interesting. Because is Tommy DeVito the future of the Giants? I don't know. Probably not. But all the stories, like Tommy DeVito and like his dad is never going to have to buy a drink ever in New Jersey. It's just a fantastic story. This is like Vince Papale from Invincible with the Eagles. But so this sucks because, again, it has to be a local kid, not like just went to the local university. So Tanner Morgan, no, because Tanner Morgan's from Kentucky. But it sucks. I mean, do we have to get Mitch Leidner back? Or, no. Oh, we get Trey Lance. That makes sense. Trey Lance is QB3. Woo. There you go, babe. Although the Gophers didn't offer him, which is kind of dumb. Something that isn't dumb is, so I'm not really a table games player. I may basically stick my degeneracy for entertainment purposes only. A little bit of sports wagering, which we'll get to. A little bit of pokering, which is a skill game. And a little bit of the craps. Because there's nothing more fun than a craps table that's betting all the same way. And you got a hot shooter. It's really fun. It's really fun, man. It's the best team sport. Also, I mean, there's a lot of bad ways to play craps. There's a lot of great ways to play craps where you can get. So basically, the larger and more prominent the bets are on the table, the worse that it is for the player and better it is for the house. That's why they're. I mean, literally the best bet in terms of table games in Vegas literally is Invisible, which we'll get to. But the Fountain Blue opened up in Las Vegas. Now, it's North Strip. It's sort of up near the Strat, but that area is undergoing a lot of revitalization. I mean, the Arts District, I absolutely love in Vegas. Some really great restaurants and a couple of really nice breweries open up down in that area. It's also adjacent to the Las Vegas Country Club and close to Westgate, which it's good times. But big time opening this week. Tom Brady and Justin Timberlake playing craps at the Fountain Blue in Vegas. Now, I mean, this is obviously like a publicity photo because also like Paul Anka is in this picture. Cher is apparently in this photo as well. I don't see. Oh no, I see her. Or so she's behind Paul Anka. Which I only know Paul Anka because of Gilmore Girls, because that's the name of their dog, and the wife watches Gilmore Girls on repeat, so I like absorb it through osmosis. But Timberlake, he got the bones, he's rolled dice. Now the internet actually gave Timberlake a lot of crap because he on the pass line he's got a quarter, he's got 4 nickels and 5 ones, so he's betting $50. You got $50 on the pass line. The minimum at these tables probably maybe 50, probably 25, somewhere in there. But here's the thing too: is like, oh, why is Justin Timberlake? I mean, why is he only betting $50? Well, here's the thing: if they got 10x odds, which is taking odds and craps is the best bet because it's even money and it's neutral. Like it's neutral for the player and the house. And yes, there's going to be a lot of variance in it, but if you want yourself a good time, you want yourself a fair gamble, take odds and craps. So if he's betting the table minimum, let's say it's 50, say it's 10x odds. There's some places in Vegas that do 100x odds. But 10x odds, like we said, the bet is invisible because you just put your wager behind your pass line bet or don't pass bet, but no one wants to bet that. And so if he's betting $50, if there's 10x odds, which hopefully there is, he can bet $500. All of a sudden, that can get a little spicy, especially if you're taking if you're betting across, if you're betting the hard ways. So, I mean, people knocking Timberlake for betting $50. You bet $50 and then take max odds. Go ahead. No, he's fine. Speaking of max odds, speaking of Vegas, speaking of degeneracy, I'm trying to temper my expectations with the Timberwolves because I was a huge basketball fan growing up. I sort of got away from it, but I'm back. The Fairweather basketball fan is back, baby. I love Anthony Edwards. He's a superstar in the making, although he has had sort of an off night last night. That defense that Chris Finch has put together, Gobert is the best in the middle. James McDaniels is probably one of the best perimeter defenders in the league, and this is something like this defense is championship caliber. And in a league that does not play defense anymore, I mean, the Wolves, anytime you can stop the other team from scoring, you're going to have a chance, especially when you have Anthony Edwards primed to take over. And I'm in. F it, I'm in. All right, so last time we were in Gary, Indiana, we put a C note down on the Wolves to win the West at 11-1, and the Wolves to win the whole effing thing at 25-1. I'll take where. I mean, the Wolves had the best record in the league, and I don't know if this is just like hating on Minnesota sports, but best record in the league, and you're getting 11-1 to win the conference and 25-1 to win the ship. Again, I understand they don't have the championship pedigree, but I'll take that. I'll take it, man. That's right. But that's it. That is Vikings news dump adjacent on this beautiful Friday. Man, I sort of rambled on. It's okay. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Won't support the work, put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.